Okay, we should be live. Hello, hello, everybody.
Good evening.
Good day.
Welcome back to Curse of Strahd. Well, for one of you, I guess. Well, I mean, you guys did the Death House, some of you. But okay, I think we'll just get right into it, guys. We'll do introductions as we kind of get there. So, been a crazy couple of months.
It certainly has.
Yeah.
So, let me see. We had Oleg, Salvador, and Yaotl. You guys got to brave the depths of the Death House, a house that attempted to kill you at every turn. But you survived, and you escaped the nightmare. And kind of what's happened since then, you kind of woke up in a cold sweat in your house or wherever it was you were before you fell asleep that night. And a couple of months have passed since this nightmare, and the further you get away from that nightmare, the more it just seems like a dream rather than it happened. And it almost disappears from your memory altogether. Or at least for Oleg and Salvador. But, Kragmar, Felix, and Brillin. It is Brillin?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, you three have been having nightmares yourselves, but they were nowhere near as real as what Oleg, Yaotl, and Salvador went through. They were almost like flashes of something dark and something sinister. And they just kind of haunted you. Almost every time you went to sleep, you had the same flashes of imagery. And whatever it is your character was doing, whether they are adventurers or whatever, as whatever you were doing previously, your attention was pulled to some barrel-topped wagons that were brightly and festively painted. And each wagon is pulled by two draft horses, all wearing bright coats with bangles and tassels. And the people in these wagons are also brightly and colorfully dressed, and their personalities match. And as they arrive to your town or city or wherever it might have been, something about them pulled you to them. And they stated that they were looking for men and women of talents. And they offered gold and wine. And you couldn't pass up this opportunity. So, we'll go down the list. So, Kragmar, you were the first that they picked up. And, a few days later, they picked up Felix. And, again, a couple days later, they picked up Brillin. And you guys maybe had some time to sit there and talk to each other. And you know that when they would camp for the night, they would do like a semicircle with their wagons and have a nice giant bonfire in the middle, and they would spend the night just singing and dancing and drinking wine, and they were very merry people. But during these travels through the land, Oleg, you were the next to be picked up. And so you also kind of got to get introduced to them. And again, a couple more days later, something caused what felt like a brick fall into the bottom of your stomach, Oleg, when Salvador steps into one of the wagons with you, having just been picked up himself. And suddenly all those memories come rushing back. And Salvador, as soon as you meet eyes with Oleg, you have the same dreadful sensation. You suddenly remember these nightmares and the death house and everything that transpired in there. And it's suddenly kind of connected that wasn't just any ordinary dream. So, the 5 of you spent another good couple of days traveling. And maybe Oleg and Salvador kind of stepped off to the side to kind of whisper to each other, perhaps asking, like, was that really true? Did that actually happen? Did you have the same dreams? And your answers were exactly the same. Like, you guys remember almost everything about it. But you guys continue. Okay. Together around the fire. So, once you 5 have been picked up, and you guys are on the trade road somewhere in the Sword Coast region, they set up camp for the night, but this time the colorfully dressed people do not dance and sing. And the leader of this group, who you have come to know as Stanimir, is sitting in front of the fire. And he motions you over, and you guys kind of take a seat around the fire. And he goes, I have a tale for you. It is no mere chance that I have collected the 5 of you this night. And he will fill his mouth with wine, which he then spits into the fire. The fire turns from orange to green, and as they dance and sway, a dark shape appears in the bonfire's core. We come from an ancient land whose name is long forgotten, a land of kings. Our enemies forced us from our homes, and now we wander the lost roads. The dark shape in the fire takes the form of a man being knocked from his horse, a spear piercing his side. Stanimir continues, One night, a wounded soldier staggered into our camp and collapsed. We nursed his terrible injury and quenched his thirst with wine. He survived. When we asked him who he was, he wouldn't say. All he wanted was to return home, but we were deep in the land of his enemies. We took him as one of our own and followed him back towards his homeland. His enemies hunted him. They said he was a prince, yet we didn't give him up, even when their assassins fell upon us like wolves. And deep in the bonfire, you see the dark figure standing with a sword drawn, fighting off a host of shadowy shapes. This man of royal blood fought to protect us, as we protected him. We bore him safely to his home, and he thanked us. He said, I owe you my life. Stay as long as you wish. Leave when you choose, and know that you will always be safe here. The figure in the dancing fire vanquishes its final foe, then disperses in a cloud of smoke and embers. Stanimir's face becomes a somber mask. A curse has befallen our noble prince, turning him into a tyrant. We alone have the power to leave his domain. We've traveled far and wide to find heroes such as yourselves to end our dread lord's curse and put his troubled soul to rest. Our leader, Madame Ava, knows all. Will you return to Barovia with us and speak with her? And with that, the silence hangs in the air as he gazes about you 5.
Gragmar flexes his muscles and the leather straps on his body just tenses, like they're being ripped. He responds, I will greatly take on this task.
Okay. Stanimir will kind of nod at you with a small smile.
Brillin will look over at him and nod very slowly, her eyes wide from the tale he was telling. Yes, of course. I would be more than happy to aid you.
Okay. And then he will turn to Felix. expecting a response. Did we lose Felix?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties. Okay, while we wait for him, I just have to do one thing, so I'll be right back.
Ragmar's still flexing. Doing dynamic poses. As he continues to flex, you guys wonder, or don't wonder why, but now realize that he doesn't wear clothes for a specific reason. Just leather straps.
Alright, sorry about that. I am back. Did Felix emerge?
No, he left.
Huh. Uh-oh, I hope something didn't happen to him.
Oh no.
He was typing and then he like disappeared.
Okay, well, we'll message him and give him a moment. Okay, so while
I'll
we're...
stand in his stead and say, I'll join you.
Yeah,
He says minor technical issues.
gotcha. Okay, so he'll return shortly. That's fine, it happens. So, upon waiting on Felix's response, you see that Stanimir kind of turns to Oleg and Salvador, and he says, "You have already tasted the land of Barovia. What say you?"
I'll join you.
So he sort of thinks for a moment, just sort of thinking back to the dream again, and all the things that happened. And he finally speaks up. Yes, I will go.
And he'll nod and he says, "Good. Until you end this curse, Barovia will come for you in one way or another. So, good choice." And he'll kind of pat you on the hand. And he'll say, "Well, drink wine and be merry this fine night, for tomorrow we will find ourselves in the land of Barovia." And it takes a couple of moments, but the camp becomes lively, the dances and music starts up, and you guys enjoy your evening, possibly getting a little bit more drunk.
Gragmar enjoys his mead and starts dancing and flailing around like an idiot.
Okay. So, you guys head into some of the colorful tents that they set up, and you guys turn in for the night. And they wake you up. You're shaken awake deep in the night. And you know that dawn is arriving shortly, but it is still under the cover of night. And you see that they have pretty much already packed the camp, and they urge you to get into the wagons. And they begin down the trade route. And after a few hours of seemingly uneventful travels, a dark gray mist begins to swirl around the wagons. And Oleg and Salvador, you remember this mist. And the hairs kind of stand on end as you see this. And for a moment, everything is just completely engulfed, and you can see nothing but gray. Okay, so after what seems like eternity, the mists begin to finally dissipate, and you find yourselves in a land you do not recognize. And as the mist finally dissipates, Stanimir will kind of... You see that he's got a smile on, but you get there's a grave tone in his voice, and he says, Welcome to Barovia. Okay, so let me go ahead and move you guys to the map here. Alright, so you guys are going to be far on the right, near the bottom. So you guys should see a wagon token that is currently where you guys are at. So let me go ahead and pull up this important information. Alright, so you guys kind of travel along this road here. And as you guys travel, it takes maybe half an hour or so. As you guys are traveling, you guys can hear the howling of wolves from within the woods. And if you guys are peeking out the windows, perhaps you guys will see some of the wolves standing at the edge of the woods, kind of staring at you. And they're not just any ordinary wolves, they are dire wolves. And you see that they are watching the wagon that you guys are in, particularly. They are staring at that as it goes through the path. But again, after about 30 minutes or so, let's see, the fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you. Ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, are high stone buttresses, looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. Two headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you with only silence. Okay, so, alright. As the wagons approach, the gates open in front of the lead wagon, and they close behind you once all the wagons have entered. So, you guys continue along this path here. After about an hour or so of this slow wagon ride here, as you guys traverse your way through these woods, towering trees whose tops are lost in heavy gray mist block out all but a death gray light. The tree trunks are naturally close to one another, and the woods have the silence of a forgotten grave, yet exude the feeling of an unvoiced scream. So you guys continue again for about another hour or so. And you guys find yourself traveling through a village. And Oleg and Salvador, as you're kind of gazing about this gray village, your eyes lock onto one particular building. And as you gaze at it, you are suddenly remembering the death house, and you see it just kind of between some of the houses, but to you it sticks out. And it is heavily boarded up and appears to be abandoned. Any damage that you had seen to it, it seems like it never happened, and yet here this building stands. So perhaps a shiver runs down your spine. And you can see Stanimir watching you as you guys pass this house. But he says nothing, and they make no stop in the village here.
My PC crashed.
I'm sorry?
My PC crashed.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we'll keep on until you're back up and ready to go.
No, you can keep going. I'm on my phone.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so... So, you travel some more, and they make no stop in the village. You guys begin to head towards the... there's a bridge here, And as you guys pass this arcing stone bridge, you see a river flowing clear as a blue winter sky through the valley. When you guys cross this bridge, Stanimir gives you a smile and turns back to you and tells you that it won't be long now till we're at the camp. So he'll say, just rest easy. Okay, and you guys will continue along the road for, again, about another hour here. Let me go ahead and move this here. So, you come to a fork in the road here. And as you guys get to this fork, you see a crowd of what appear to be commoners. And you see that they're dressed kind of in faded, worn colors. And they all appear to be crowded around an old wooden gallows. And they all are wielding pitchforks, and they seem to be in some type of frenzy. And you see Stanimir make a motion, and all of the wagons stop. And you see him kind of turn and look at you. And so, you guys staring out, looking at these gallows, you see that they are attempting to hang somebody. They're preparing for a hanging. Oleg and Salvador, you kind of do a double take as you look out, and you focus and glare at this person being hung, and you recognize this man from the dream in the death house, standing with the noose around his neck, and what seems like moments before being dropped is Yaotl. And Stanimir kind of opens the door to the wagon and then kind of just looks at you.
So, Yaotl is being hung. How far off again?
Let me find out for you. So from the cart... Oop, that is not what I meant. Sorry. So he's about 75 feet away from you.
Well, can I rush over? I can get out of the cart?
You'd be able to do that, yes.
Yes. I rush over, and I yell out, what crimes has this man committed?
Okay.
Deserving of death.
Kragmar falls behind Salvador.
Okay, so Salvador, you're going to kind of take the lead here. So Salvador, you kind of move forward. You said Kragmar?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oleg, what is your action here?
My instinct is to follow behind the others,
Mhm.
but do it a bit cautiously, so in case the commoners are after some of the people who had this dream of the death house.
Okay. So, Mr. Yaotl, you stand here. They have just recently tightened this noose around your neck, and your arms are tied behind your back. And you just see this crowd of commoners standing around you. They're all yelling and like cheering for somebody to pull the lever to drop you. And, you know, as you're sitting here and you have spent a good couple of months here in Barovia. For a second there, perhaps maybe you kind of feel a sense of happiness for the first time that you're finally getting to escape Barovia. When you kind of look up and you see Salvador charging towards you, and you suddenly have all these memories rushing back, and you remember Salvador, and you see that Oleg is not too far behind, and they're both sprinting towards you. And Brillin and Felix, what are you guys wanting to do?
Slowly leave the cards and ask the leader of the cards, why are we stopping here? Are we going to look at the execution? Doesn't really seem fancy to me.
And he says, there's another one who's been touched by Barovia here. Your friends, Salvador and Oleg, have spent some time with this man, and we think that he'll be a help.
Great. Okay, I'll walk around the caravan. Or carriage, kind of stretching the legs and looking at what's happening in the crowd.
Okay. Brillin, what would you like to do?
Brillin will step out of the cart and listen to the conversation, and she gets this kind of perplexed look on her face, and then turns and slowly starts to walk towards where the others are heading, and just muttering to herself, well, I guess it starts then.
Okay. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. Map layer. Perfect. Let me go ahead and put you guys here. All right. Okay, so Yaotl, you see two familiar faces running towards you, and three others that you don't recognize. Is there anything particular Yaotl wants to do?
Yaotl is kind of standing still there. He locks eyes with Salvador, giving a kind of help look to him, but that's about it.
Okay. So, what we are going to do now is, this real quick. Whoops, that is not what I meant. Boom. We're going to go ahead and remove all turns. Here we go. Control you. Okay, so I think I want to say Yaotl, Kragmar, Felix, and Brillin's initiatives are fine from Roll20, but I think Oleg and Salvador are going to have to manually roll their own. But we are going to roll for initiative. Let me go ahead and do this real quick so that is not covered up. So
I'm still getting my PC back up.
gotcha. Okay. So that is whoop, my bad. 60 20. I'm going to go ahead and do okay, this is 1. Okay, 2. Why does it do this? This is weird. Here we go. 2 is 14. 3 is also 14. 11. 5 is 14. And the final one is 4. Okay. So you guys should be able to hit the initiative thing on your character sheets.
Alright, where is it located?
Make sure the core tab is selected on the character sheet, the one all the way to the left.
Yeah.
And then the initiative is right below that in the middle.
Yeah.
Do I just... okay.
Just click on the initiative. Yep.
Ooh.
There we go. And I think Felix, this should be fine as well. There we go.
That's not working for me.
Okay.
Make sure you have your token selected.
You have to select your token in order for it to auto-populate into the turn order.
Okay. But Salvador and Oleg, you guys can just roll as normal.
Like I can roll in person, right?
That should be fine, yeah.
Okay, I got an 11. I
Okay.
don't know how to manually insert it.
Sorry, and who's this again?
Salvador, sorry.
Salvador, cool. Okay. So... Oh no, why didn't this work? Technical difficulties again. Okay, so...
That's a damn.
Salvador, Brillin, and Yaotl. Okay. What did you get there? Was that Crag?
Got 13.
13. Okay. And Oleg?
That is a 9.
A 9. Okay. Let me go ahead and retype these in because for some reason they did not save. Oops, you know what? 2 is 14. Alright. Gotta do some updates. 14. Okay, that would be 4, 11, 5. Whoa, yep. 14 and 6 is 4. And I should be able to do this. Okay, so Yaotl, you are first.
But Yaotl is tied up.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like I don't think he's in a position where he can do anything for right now.
I mean, you could attempt to break from your binds if you wanted to.
That's true. That's true.
So you, Yaotl, can either do a strength athletics, or where is it would be underneath your core there.
Okay.
So underneath your skills, you could either do an acrobatics dexterity check or an athletics strength check.
And let's do athletics because that's got the number.
Okay, so
I
you
just
should
click on the
you
word,
should be able to
right?
just click on it. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and click this. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so you rolled a 13. So you begin to kind of pull your arms apart, and you can hear the rope creaking. And after a moment, the rope snaps, and you find your hands freed. Now, the noose is still rather tight, so you would have to do another action, unfortunately, to loosen it. But you have broken free, and you're able to move your arms about. You still have bonus actions. You are a fighter, so you technically can still use your action surge if you wanted to.
And use that to maybe take off the noose.
You could do that or attack. I mean, the world's your oyster.
All right. Let's see. Let's attack, I guess, this one right here.
Okay. So,
Right, and so to do an attack on here.
so you are currently unarmed, and your gear is kind of sitting at the base of the gallows, and you're not able to reach it currently with the noose. There's not enough, and actually, with the noose being around your neck, you won't be able to move closer to attack. But if I recall, you have some spells, right?
All right, that's not what I was gonna go for, but yeah. Yeah, I believe Gogoosh, I don't remember what they do. I think Firebolt should be good.
Okay. So you should be able to just click on it.
Do
Here
you
we
need
go.
me to do a roll to attack first, or?
I believe if you click on it, it should basically do it for you. Let's try it out. Okay, Yep, so it is rolling that attack for you. So unfortunately, you rolled a nat 1. So you reach your hand out, and maybe they tied it a little too tight, and you're kind of starting to see stars in your eyes. But the fire kind of fizzles at your palm and does not shoot forward.
Boo.
Yeah, okay. So we are going to go. Can I do that? Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Boo, 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 boo. All right. So it is Commoner 1's turn. Why did that do that? Okay. So, seeing you break free from your binds, you see that the commoners become even more enraged. And the commoner 1, am I on the wrong? What's going on here? Why can I not? Yes, what is going on here? It wouldn't let me collect the token for some reason. That's weird. Okay, so he is going to move forward. And he is going to pull out a club and attempt to smack you with it. For a 4, so that is not going to hit. So you he comes swinging at you with the club, and you bring your hand up and you catch it, and he's not able to hit you. Brillin, you're next. So as you're kind of moving towards this, you see that the commoners are suddenly even more frenzied, and any attention that Salvador had pulled, they have now turned back towards the man who has now freed himself of his binds, but still has this nice thick rope around his neck.
Okay. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to measure. Brillin is going to walk forward a bit, and then she is going to drop some fairy fire on these commoners right here in the middle to
Okay.
try to hit as many of these guys as she can. It's a 20-foot square,
Mm-hmm.
and they all need to make dexterity saving throws at a DC 12.
Okay. So, what was the point of origin? Right here. Whoop. Yeah, see, my ring is off. That's not where I'm clicking. I'm clicking right in the middle of the box, and it's clicking off for some reason. But right, kind of right there. All right.
Yes.
So let's take a look real quick. See, it's.
I think I can get 4 of them. Maybe it's a 20-foot square. Actually, I can get all of them, I think.
Yeah.
20-foot cube.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
20 feet, 20 feet, 20 feet, and 20 feet. Yeah, that's all of them.
Mhm.
Okay.
I would like to light them up, please.
Markers.
So let me see if this works here. A dexterity saving throw, you said?
Yes, DC 12.
Okay, so let's see if that works. So the first one makes it. I'll just do it for the second one. Fails. The third one fails. Fourth one fails. Fifth one passes. And the sixth one passes. So it looks like 2, 3, and 4 fail. So what happens to them?
The entire area is lit up in this like really pretty white pinky kind of light that kind of shines everywhere, and they cannot benefit from invisibility, and anyone that attacks the 3 that failed gets advantage against attacks on them.
Okay, so 2, 3, and 4 failed. So what I will do is I'll put a thing above them. We'll go with you know what? We'll go with this. 2, 3, and 4. All right. Anything else for Brillin?
No, I think that's good for right now.
Okay, so yeah, these commoners get blinded by your light, and you see kind of this shimmery light kind of following them.
Can I do one thing? Sorry.
Of course.
Can I use my bonus action to activate Shillelagh cantrip on my quarterstaff, please?
Of course. Okay. So, we go to Commoner 5.
I'm sorry, Hawk.
Yes.
My initiative did not record onto the return order.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. That... It did not. Why did it not? Okay. Well, how do I... let's see. Yeah, you're not on here. Why is that? Where are you? Let's see. This would help better if... Let's see if that adds to you. Okay, and then what did you get again? I'm sorry, Felix.
Oh, 18.
18, okay. So, we will say that you'll get your turn now, and then we'll put you in normal order after this.
Okay. I just want to move towards the crowd by 30 feet, and that's gonna be the end of my turn.
You can't sit on my lap, cat. Sorry. Okay. So it was Commoner 5.
Oh, actually,
go ahead.
sorry. No, I can reach with the Sacred Flame, and that's what I'm gonna do. Casting it towards this commoner.
Okay. So, Sacred Flame. He has to make a dexterity save.
Mm-hmm.
So, he made a 6. So that is 2 points of radiant damage. So, that is 2 points. Alright. So, you just see this, like, searing white flame just burst on this commoner, and he begins to scream and starts patting his shoulder, trying to put it out. Now, does that do anything else?
Oh, no, they just do not benefit from cover.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So, that would be Mr. Commoner 5. So, he's going to run forward, and he's also going to grab for his club, and he's going to turn to the 4, kind of standing at the base of the gallows. The 2 that are next to Yaotl are kind of on the gallows with him. They have to kind of go up a small set of stairs to get on top of the lifted platform. And the 4 are just kind of standing there. And you see him, he'll point towards you guys, and he says, "Take care of that lot, he's got friends!" And attempt to swing at Yaotl like a piñata. So... Did that not? Why is this not? There we go. For a 6. So you bring your foot up, Yaotl, and you kind of kick his wrist as he tries to swing at you. It kind of sends him back a little bit. So you do not take any damage. Kragmar, your turn.
Alright. Does it take a turn for me to pull out one of my javelins?
It would just be an interaction.
Yeah, so I pull out one of my javelins.
Okay. So I am going to do this real quick.
Alright. I move about right here. I'm going to try to throw a javelin at this boy over.
Okay. Let's see. It's reloading real quick. There we go. Alright. So go ahead and do your attack roll then.
Alright, so Kragmar goes into a dynamic stance with his 1 foot forward, his javelin in the back, and he throws it forward and just screams.
Okay.
He misses.
No, you're rolling with advantage.
Oh, shit.
So, you rolled a 14. So, let me pull up his sheet. I had to reset my web, so it lowered all of my stat sheets.
Gotcha.
Here we go. There it is. It's this one. Okay, a 14 is a hit.
Right on.
And then you should be able to just click the javelin title down at the bottom of that box, and it should roll your damage for you.
Now I do another attack.
What's that?
There we go.
There you go. Yep. So you just throw your spear as hard as you can, and it just... You see this commoner start to turn towards you, and it just, like, pierces his ribs and just ends out on the other side of him, just completely skewering him. And you see that he kind of gasps for a moment before falling to the ground, lifeless.
Right on.
So
First kill, Kragmar.
okay. Anything for Mr. Kragmar there?
He starts flexing, like, boastfully.
You already used your interaction, so Salvador, it is your turn.
Awesome. Can't grab my token back.
Let me double check to make sure. For some reason. There we go. Try now.
Yeah, cool. Alright, right there. And I would like to use my Channel Divinity Conquering Presence.
Okay.
Any creature I see that I can choose any creature within 30 feet of me to make a Wisdom save, and I think they're all within 30 feet.
Does it say choose a creature?
No, you can use your Channel Divinity to exude a terrifying presence. As an action, you force each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Perfect. Okay.
So
that is 5 Wisdom throws I have to make. And what is your DC?
13.
13. Okay. So here we go. Wisdom saving throws. So 1 is an 11. That's a fail. 4 is a fail. 16 is a pass. 4 is a fail. And 15 is a pass. So what happens to the failures?
They become frightened of me.
Okay.
While they can see me.
All right. So that is number 1 is frightened. So let me see if there is an appropriate. We will say, oh boy. We'll do the bleeding eye. So that was 1. 2 is dead, so we're skipping him. So 3 failed next. So he's going to have the same thing. 4 passed, 5 failed, and 6 passed. So, okay. They are frightened and cannot move towards you willingly. And they, if you're within sight, they attack with disadvantage.
Yep.
That is correct. Anything else for Mr. Salvador there?
That's all I can do.
Okay. All right. So this commoner is going to run ahead and try to cut you off, Salvador, seeing you sprinting towards Yaotl there, and attempt to swing at you. I'm sorry, they are... Okay, this one looks like is using a pitchfork for a 6, which is not going to hit, I'm assuming. So that's probably it for him. Oleg, you are up.
Alright, so what I am going to do is I am going to step up to about here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take out my crossbow and try and shoot it at this fella.
Okay.
Since that worked so well the last time.
Okay, go for it.
Alright, so... Oh, that's a 3.
Oh no. Oh, do you have like a negative in dexterity?
Yeah, I have a negative in dexterity. And I just rolled a really bad.
So yeah, you lift your crossbow and you go to fire it, and for some reason your crossbow doesn't fire, so you like turn it up to like look at it, and your finger slips and actually pulls the trigger, and the bolt just goes flying straight up into the air. Somewhere up in the distance. So I think you still have 5 feet of movement. Do you have any bonus actions? Anything else Oleg would like to do this round?
I mean, I have action surge, but he's like too embarrassed at himself to do anything else.
Okay. All right. So the one that you attempt to fire at is going to move here, so he's not frightened and he's not fairy fired. So he's going to attempt to stab Mr. Salvador. So I think for this we are going to use advantage for flanking. So
Okay.
for future reference, everybody knows that now. That is a viable option. It will be with advantage. So a 13, which I still don't think hits Mr. Salvador.
I have an 18 AC.
Okay, so yeah, you just feel something poke you in the back. And if you look over your shoulder, you see him trying to drive his pitchfork into your back. But your armor is enough to stave off this rusty, dull-looking pitchfork. Okay, so top of the round. Anybody that had used reactions gets those back. Yaotl, you're up.
Alright, let's try and... Can I make unarmed strikes?
You sure can.
Alright, how would I go about making an unarmed strike?
Let's see. Let me bring up the specifics for you. I meant to put that in your character, your character's attack list, but I was like, when is that ever gonna pop up? And sure enough,
There it is.
yeah. So, unarmed strike. Okay. All right. You can use an unarmed strike, a punch, kick, headbutt, or similar powerful blow. Let's see. Well, that's cool. So it would be a d20 plus your strength, I'm assuming.
Alright, so d20 plus 1.
Yeah.
I might just have to type that out, right?
Yeah.
On here, is it exclamation or is it /?
/. Mm-hmm.
So 1d20 plus 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 13. Now, which one were you hitting again?
This one.
That one. All right. And how are you striking?
Let's see. Since this one over here was trying to smack Yaotl again, he's gonna turn around and elbow this one in the face.
Okay. So yeah, you just, after just deflecting this commoner's club, you turn and just sharply bring your elbow up into his nose, and you hear a loud crack, and his nose just begins to pour blood. And you see that he bends forward and starts like crying and nursing his nose. All right. Anything else for Yaotl?
I think because I already used my action surge. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good for now.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you do see on your character sheet, Mr. Yaotl, you have a... let me find it. You pop it out real quick. Underneath your core, right there, you scroll down a little bit. You see underneath your hunger, thirst, fatigue, and temperature box, you see some smaller it's like directly above your attack box, basically. You see action surge. You can change that first box to a 0 to show that you've used it.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that's what I needed to do or not.
Yep, and that'll keep you updated.
Oops,
All right.
I clicked on dehydrate.
That's fine. All right, so we're going to go to the commoner that you just hit, and he's reeling back from being smacked. Okay, he is going... he glances at Salvador nursing his broken nose, and he is going to hop down from the gallows off of the platform and move away from you there, Yaotl. So if you want, you can do an opportunity attack as he's running.
Alright, so let's do another unarmed strike.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, 16 is a hit. So how are you going to hit him this time?
This time, since he's running away, Yaotl's gonna grab the rope the noose and kind of like swing his legs at him and trying to kick him down.
Okay, so you sweep the feet underneath him, and you watch as his momentum carries him a little bit, and his head hits the edge of the platform, and you just watch his head snap the other direction with force, and a loud snap as you hear his spine break, and then his body just kind of starts to roll down the hill. So he is out of commission. All right, Felix.
I want to move forward towards the platform for around 20 movements, and then launch a guiding bolt towards the commoner on the other side of our prisoner, let's say. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
6, I assume that doesn't really hit him.
That is not going to hit, I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, that's it.
All right. Brillin.
Brillin is going to... She's going to... Oh, darn, I can't quite get there. She's going to move forward as much as she can.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to go ahead and use Produce Flame to throw a ball of fire at this one right here.
Okay.
So I will have advantage on him, right? He's one of the advantage marked ones?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah. Now, that is pretty much any attack against them is done with advantage?
Mm-hmm. That's
Awesome.
correct.
Awesome.
With Fairy Fire, yes.
Okay. A 17 is going to hit. Five points. Okay, so you're gonna do 5 points of fire damage to this one. Okay. And you said 5 points of fire damage.
Correct.
All right, so this is the one that I believe Felix hit with his Sacred Flame earlier. So you see that he was barely able to pat out the Sacred Flame fire when you ignite him, Brillin. And he screams for a moment before falling to the ground silent.
Brillin gets this kind of disturbed look on her face, and she just kind of looks up and waves over at him and goes, "Sorry."
Okay. Was that anything else for
Nope, I'm
Brillin
good, thank
there?
you.
Okay. Okay, so we go to commoner number 3. So he gazes about, mostly fixated on Salvador and his fallen commoners. And he says, "This isn't worth a couple of apples, I'm out of here." And he just takes the dash action and just kind of begins sprinting off. Let's see. You guys are here. So he begins running north, basically diving into the woods and vanishing. So that is Commoner 2, who is dead. All right, Commoner 5. Ooh, okay, so... so you punched him. Yaotl was first. So, this commoner 5, will, he says, "Yeah, this isn't worth it," and begins running. Now, I believe we did hit top of the round, so you should have... Have you done your reaction this turn, Yaotl? Or was it last turn you used it?
The reaction?
Yeah, your opportunity attack when you killed this one here.
I don't think I used it. I think I just...
You attacked him and then you immediately did. So yeah, so you do not have your reaction. That is correct. So
yeah, because I attacked, my turn ended, and then he was running away, so he did a disengage, right?
yeah, so he's gonna run south, diving into the woods down that way. All right, Kragmar. there's one commoner left who seems to be surrounded.
All right. With a reach weapon like the glaive that I have, that means that I could attack from.
You could be like,
here?
you could be, yeah, as long as it's within 10 feet. So yeah, if you moved one space diagonally towards him, you'd be able to reach.
All right. But it can still be considered flanking.
So that one's kind of weird. So if Salvador was, say, here, I would say that is flanking.
Okay. In that case,
because it has a direct diagonal, I would say that that wouldn't be. There you
I'll
go.
move over here.
Okay. So Brillin, this hulking dragonborn, just kind of pushes his way in front of you. All right. That is a hit.
7 slashing.
Okay, so Kragmar, you come up behind him and you see that he's still trying to press his pitchfork into Salvador's back. When you kind of swing your glaive above your head and bring it down, slashing him across the back, and you just see blood just kind of splatter on the grassy floor here, and he drops.
All right, 2 points for Kragmar.
And with that, everybody, we are now out of initiative. Oops, let me go ahead and remove these. Okay.
All right, Kragmar goes over to his other javelin and pulls it out of the common.
Okay, so go ahead and do that. All right, so
Is Yaotl free of his binds?
so his arms are free, but he still has the noose around his neck. So if he wants to start working on that, he can. Or if somebody wants
cut that
to,
off.
okay,
Just slice it right above his head.
okay. So you kind of rush up the staircase to get up to him.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say it'll be pretty easy to kind of cut through. Yaotl, you see Mr. Salvador kind of run up and chop the rope. Yeah, you feel kind of like you are able to breathe, but now like you can fully breathe. You're starting to get a little bit lightheaded. So you'd be able to like freely, like at this point, kind of loosen it and throw it off if you'd like.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Anytime.
Okay, so we are now out of combat. So, yeah, a couple of dead commoners lie at your feet. Give me 1 second.
While you're doing that, Yaotl's gonna get his stuff.
Okay, so yeah, you'd be able to hop down and kind of grab your backpack and your weapons.
And my cloak to cover my head.
Okay. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. And they are... Cool. Okay, guys, you now are out of combat. Yaotl grabs his thing and thanks Salvador. Is there anything you guys would like to do?
So, seeing these two old friends reunite, Oleg decides to join them.
Mm-hmm.
So he rushes on over to the others to reacquaint himself with Yaotl again.
Okay. Perfect.
Kragmar remembers that a bolt went straight up in the air, so he's kind of cautiously walking around while looking.
Okay. As that thought crosses your mind there, Kragmar, you actually hear you hear a sound kind of coming from a little bit south of you guys, and if you look that way, you will see the bolt is now kind of sticking out of the dirt.
He gives a sigh of relief, like, like he would hate for that to be the thing that kills him.
That would be highly.
Don't mind all the bodies here, huh?
Mm-hmm. So Oleg, Salvador, and Yaotl all kind of pat each other on the back and hug each other or whatever, with reunited.
I give him a friendly handshake.
So, Yaotl, do you wish to inform them of Nissa's current condition?
There is no Nissa. I lost Nissa. Nissa's gone. Nissa's gone from me. No more. She's gone. She's gone.
And Oleg and Salvador, upon hearing that name, you guys are kind of reminded of that halfling rogue that kind of ran off and did her own thing throughout the death house and was getting herself in trouble constantly. So, yes. You guys are kind of able to ascertain from his ramblings that Nissa is no longer amongst the living. And somewhere, and as you guys kind of look Yaotl up and down, he seems a little bit thinner, a little bit more pale in the face. You know, his cheekbones are a little bit more prominent. He looks, a bit paler. He's not looking too good. So,
hey, what's wrong with you?
So Yaotl, as you kind of know, while everybody else got to go back toward, the Sword Coast and live their lives after the nightmare, you have been in Barovia this entire time, scrounging around, doing what you needed to survive. So while they got to go home and do adventures and their daily life and eat good food and drink, you've been in this dour land, and you kind of lost count of the days that you've been here. And somewhere along your time here, you were accompanied by Nissa, but unfortunately, at one point in your time here, she succumbed to something, and you can't really remember at this point. It all seems kind of hazy. But seeing Oleg and Salvador standing in front of you now, like a bunch of memories are rushing back, and you kind of remember, as you see them, you kind of remember who you are, and you kind of feel as if, you attempted to use a firebolt and it kind of fizzled. So maybe you're remembering who Yaotl is, or what he was at one point, and you kind of feel your powers returning to you slowly. Yeah. With that, is there anything anybody would like to do before you guys head back towards the wagons?
Well, Gragmar gathers the bodies and put them all together in a row and lined up.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and do that. So the one that you killed there, Brillin, the fire, I think, is still remaining, correct?
No, it's not bonfire, it's produce flame, which is only a single action.
Well, considering that they're dead, I guess you could consider their gear not carried or worn, so they pretty much, that one just kind of ignites. So there's a small, like, his clothes are starting to burn. So maybe you guys drag them all together. Come on, why aren't you letting me unclick? There we go. Woo!
This causes a Cragmore to get a little alarmed, so he starts kicking dirt onto the body, trying to turn the fire.
Yeah, you'd be able to kick the fire out. It's only a small one, so. Okay, so you kind of pile them up right in front of this these gallows here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else for this, or are you guys? Well, first, you guys would probably need to talk to Yaotl a little bit. You guys just kind of showed up in a wagon, came charging out into his rescue.
What were you charged with that they would put you to death?
Just surviving. Just surviving. The food.
You were charged with surviving.
It's charged with
They
surviving.
think you a witch.
No.
Why did you survive?
No.
It's just because you're alive and they're trying to kill you?
No. No, that's not it. Yaotl gets a bit
Craig-
more nervous at the questioning. He starts to
Craig Morris,
more closing in his face.
very confused.
Oops. Okay. Yeah. So, and kind of as you think about it, Yaotl, you've kind of had to steal to survive, and your latest theft found yourself captured, and you've been hitting the same stall for a couple weeks now, and they've had it. So they decided that they would just kind of end you. They put you in jail once, but you escaped. So you came back and stole again, and they decided they had enough of you, and they brought you here to hang you.
Poor Yaotl.
Okay. So Yaotl, maybe you're just now kind of looking around because not long ago you had a noose around your neck. On the path behind where they came from, you see 3 bright and colorful wagons, and you recognize these as Vistani wagons. You remember seeing this type of wagon before. You can't remember exactly where or at what point, but you've seen them before. And it brings kind of like mixed feelings back to you. You kind of remember, warmth and happiness in a dour place. But you also remember running for your life at one point or something. So you're getting these like mixed signals when you look at it. And, okay. So, at this point here, give me 1 second. Mysterious visitors. You see Stanimir kind of step out of the wagon, and you see that he's got a rather large smile on, and he says, "Good, you managed to save him. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get back on the road."
Quite a weird sightseeing tour, but okay.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys do anything else, really?
Did we
Right.
loot the bodies? Did we have to do rolls for it?
Bodies
or-
holding any coin purses or anything.
I'll just say that you guys can, while the 3 are kind of talking to each other, you guys can be going through the bodies.
Okay.
So let me go ahead. So there is 4 bodies in total. So who's doing the looting? Are you guys each looting a body? Brillin, Felix, and Kragmar? Okay.
Yeah.
So, each of you go ahead and give me 2d10s. Okay.
Everyone?
Just the 3 that are looting right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we've got Kragmar an 8 and a 10. So what we're gonna do: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and ooh, okay. Mr. Kragmar, you find 10 gold pieces on the one that you dig through. Felix, you got 2 and 3. So let me see. Felix, you only find 15 copper.
Mm-hmm.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Brillin, you find 12 gold.
Ooh.
And there's one more body, so I'm going to say that Felix would probably want to search that one, yeah?
Sure.
Go ahead and give me those 2d10s again.
Mm-hmm. I got the memo. Another 15 copper.
You got, oh my gosh, you got a 2 and a 3.
Same roll. It's the exact same roll.
1, 2, and 3. Whoa! I'm gonna have to nerf this just a little bit. Oh, no, you know what? We're going with it. We're rolling with it. Are you ready? 6 platinum.
Really?
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
A commoner had 6 platinum.
Yep. It's set for a CR0 individual loot. So
Oh damn!
yeah. So you.
I'm guessing he had a side gig going on aside from hanging people.
It's a really good side gig. Like,
I mean, you know, if you work the street corner long enough.
Mm-hmm.
it's worth 6 platinum, but it's all in copper.
Okay. And Berlin, you said you wanted to look for something else, collect something.
Oh, Berlin just is gonna take anything off of the body that she can find, like I don't know, a shoelace or just something interesting, odd, random.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be able to pull off some like leather bootlaces. Most of them have like leather buckles for boots, but you know that one of them has like bootlaces. So you'd be able to, undo the knot and just pull it through. Yeah, that'd be totally
Okay.
possible.
Great, thanks.
Okay. Anything else before you guys head back towards the wagon?
No, I think at least for me, I'm done.
Okay. Well,
Wait. So, question. As a team, we got 6 platinum.
so
Or was it from the body?
I mean, that's what you found on the body.
I see.
So you're currently holding 6 platinum, but you're more than welcome.
Oh, sure. I give everybody a coin. I just will have one and kind of like jiggle it in one of my arms.
Right.
Even my knuckles.
Okay, so you pass one out to everybody. Perfect.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay, so you guys kind of murmur to each other as you guys head back towards the wagons. And yeah, you guys all kind of climb into the wagon, and after a moment, Stanimir will get the cart going again. So let me... Oh boy, this map. It's massive. Sorry about this, guys.
It's you!
It is. It sure is. Okay. Let me go ahead and transfer myself. Whoop. Transfer myself to there as well. Would help. Oh boy, this map is massive. Okay. Alright, so, yep, you all hop in the wagon, and after a few moments, Stanimir gets the horses moving again. And I'm sure as you guys are kind of sitting here, you guys have a couple of moments to talk. Stanimir informs you that it'll be about 1 more hour till you guys are at the Serpool encampment. So at this time, you guys have enough time to kind of sit there, talk to each other, get to learn about each other. So what we're going to do now is character introductions. So this is a great time since everybody's here. So I'm gonna start in line. So Oleg, if you would do a quick character introduction.
All right. So, Oleg, he was born and raised not in West Philadelphia, but as a musician. So he spent a lot of his life playing lutes and such, but never really got to perform much until somewhat later in his life, when one performance led to a group of traveling barbarians sort of seeing this orc guy up on stage being showered with praise, and they didn't like it too much, so they went up and smashed his lute against the wall, completely destroying it, and he just sort of went, "Do people like this? No. I'm gonna use my muscle." So he decides to start training himself to be a fighter and leaves town to search for work elsewhere.
Okay. Awesome. You said you're a half-orc?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Yaotl. Let's hear about Yaotl.
Yaotl is a half-wolf elf. He's been stuck in Barovia, so there's things about himself that he doesn't quite really remember, but he comes from a background that was mostly studious rather than adventurous, so his first adventure to explore the world and see the locations that he had read about in his studies led him to, unfortunately, Barovia. That's about much for him.
Yeah, and unlike you guys, he was not asked to come to Barovia. Okay, Salvador.
I have lost my background, so I'll just give you a description.
That's fine.
Thick black hair. If I'm not donning my armor, I might be mistaking as a female with a slender figure. And I wield a halberd almost always.
Okay. And what race are you?
Half elf.
Half elf. Awesome. Okay. Brillin.
Brillin is a elf, and she has a very soft, like heart-shaped face. And she's got very long, like rich black, kind of wavy hair, and it sweeps down her back. She's got like a petite nose and pouty lips, and her ears are pierced on the very tips, and each one has a dangling earring with a charm on it. One of the charms is an apple blossom, and the other one is a little honeybee. And she stands about 5 feet 2 inches tall. She's kind of short for an elf, but she's a little bit curvier than they usually are. She wears this like grass green colored leather armor, and it's lined in all these like pale pink decorations. And she carries a quarterstaff that resembles a young birch tree. It's kind of got that white birch skin to it, and she's in a pretty good mood all the time. She tries to be really helpful, and she just wants to make sure that everybody's okay and everyone's having a great day.
Okay. So, next, let's see. Next is Kragmar.
Kragmar is a dragonborn, born in the north of the tundra, snowy area. Rather massive in size, somewhat arrogant, and proud of his prowess as a warrior. He worked together with a lot of the shamans of his tribe. It seems almost as if he's attuned to his ancestors, somewhat carrying a veteran air about him. His white dragon scales giving way to his cold breath. It's only natural that he would have a cold air around him. He dons mostly a leather codpiece, red cape, and leather harness, wielding his glaive almost with pinpoint accuracy.
Awesome. Okay. And Felix.
Halfling Felix Greyflaw, trickster cleric, charlatan, gambler, and a chronic liar. Just under 3 feet, possesses a fancy silver mask of goddess Lyra. Drew him by chance to find a purpose in life and fix his mistakes. And that's about it.
Okay, awesome. So that sounds like that's everybody. So yeah, you guys all get kind of, accustomed to each other, learn about each other a little bit, and then you guys, are just kind of going along with the ride. Let me see. I actually see something real quick. Let me see.
Can I interject?
Yes, of course.
While you're thinking, throughout this whole car ride, Yaotl is kind of muttering very softly to himself and is kind of fidgeting really badly with his fingers.
Okay. So, I just saw a handout that I could have shown you when you guys got to the gates. Let's see. Let's show. There we go. If that'll pull up. There we go. So that's the gates that you guys entered.
That's massive.
Mm-hmm.
Kragmar's impressed.
Yeah, so that's what you guys saw when you first entered Barovia. Yes, at this point, let me see where. Sarah encampment. All right, perfect.
From the map, I just thought it was like some dingy gate.
Just like a
with,
tiny gate.
Some buttresses, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. About after an hour of travel, the road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There is a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around a bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest's edge. So as you get closer, I'll go ahead and do this. I'll show you kind of what the people look like. So they're very bright and colorful, wearing very flowy type clothes. And they are frequently singing, dancing, and playing music, and having some wine. So I'll go ahead and clear that now. So the cart comes to a stop, and Stanimir says, "We are here, my friends. Welcome to the Serpul encampment." And as you guys kind of step out and stretch your legs a little bit, he will motion towards the largest tent, and he says, "Madam Ava awaits."
As Yaotl steps out and looks around the encampment, his eyes kind of squint. Suspicion.
Yeah, so this seems somewhat familiar to you. But let me find where does this have? It does not. Okay. Let me see if I can find you guys at the Serpul encampment. Here we go. Okay, so what do you guys do when you guys get out? Are you guys going to head right into the tent?
Berlin's just going to hop out and just start walking in. She's going to head right into the tent. She's just going to smile at everybody that she passes.
Okay. So seeing as you have arrived from Stanimir's company, as you're kind of weaving your way in through these people, a couple of them grab your hands and kind of twirl you around and try to include you in their dance. And some of them will like dance around you and stuff like that. You see that they're very joyous people, and it takes you a little bit longer than you'd like maybe to get to the tent because they're constantly getting in your way and pulling you into a small dance. Before
Ragnar doesn't need to be pulled into the dance. He just joins them. Like, yes, yes. Rask and my glory, dance around me.
Berlin just if she gets pulled into dancing, she's gonna dance. She just smiles and laughs and is completely enjoying herself.
Okay.
What a joyful company. I want to go to the tent and just avoid them as much as possible. Just make a big arc on the side.
Yeah.
Just go into the tent.
You're probably small enough to weave in between their feet.
Exactly.
And you're able to get out there.
I follow him.
Yaotl, as you see this large tent, there's a somewhat warm feeling that kind of washes over you. And suddenly you are kind of familiar, or you kind of realize the weight of your spell book in your bag. And if you pull it out and kind of glance over it, you kind of remember this is where you got your book from. And you have some positive vibes you're sensing from this tent. So
Ava, they said, right? I must see Ava.
okay. So eventually you guys all make your way into the tent. So as you guys finish making your way in, and once everybody's in and whatever, you see that magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. "At last you have arrived." Cackling laughter bursts like mad lightning from her withered lips. And as she finishes her laugh, you see that she focuses on Yaotl. And she says, "Come, my poor dear. It has been many months, but it is good to see you again, Yaotl. I hope my book has done you well."
Yes. Yes, it's you, isn't it?
And she says, "Yes, it is me. Though the me that you know is from a different world. A world much like this one. But I am connected between these worlds. So I see all, and I am all." So, and if you get closer, she'll take your hand and kind of like rub it. And she's like, "I am sorry for what you have endured in your time here. But I hope that, you are still willing to do what must be done." And
I must do what needs to be done. I must.
Mm-hmm. And she says, "The card. Do you still have it?"
The card.
"Yes."
I vaguely remember the card.
"Yes. The beast."
Soon as she says the beast, kind of triggers Yaotl, and she's like, "Yes, the beast."
Okay, but then she pats your hand a little bit and she says, "Oh, where are my manners? I see you've brought some friends and some new faces here. I am Madam Ava." And she will kind of look at you all, and she kind of motions for you each, like one by one, to kind of step up to her so she can grab your hand. And as she does, she kind of rubs it, and she will look you dead in the eye, and she greets you all by name, first and last name, and if your character has it or not, by true name as well. So if you have like a fake last name that you use, she strikingly knows your true name, and she welcomes you all one by one. And she goes, "There has been much meddling in the world of Barovia the past couple of months. Things have been shifted and shuffled about, and things are not as they should be, even more so than they already were. She kind of, there's not really much to sit. And you know what? Here, let's see. Can I show this to you guys? Is it gonna let me? I don't think it's going to. Oh, here we go. There we go. There you go. There's Madam Ava there for you. Nice old crone for you. But, yes. So, there's not really much to sit. There's like maybe 2 chairs sitting around her table. But she welcomes you, and she says, I am glad you're here, but at the same time, I am also saddened that you have to be here. And she says, I have called upon you, those of you that have been touched by Barovia in one way or another, and she'll kind of motion to both Oleg and Salvador, and she says, yes, you have already stepped foot here before. To you it might seem like nothing but a dream, but in reality, during the planal shifting of the planes tampering a few months back, you were pulled into it, and you got a small taste of what Barovia is, or maybe what it once was. And then she'll kind of look to Brillin, Felix, and Kragmar, and she says, and you, the tendrils of Barovia hadn't yet grasped you, but it would only be a matter of time. And had I not sent Stanimir out to collect you, Barovia would have devoured you, slowly, driven you mad and craven. So, you are here now. Barovia is now one with you as you are one with Barovia. You cannot leave until you do what must be done. Your fate is entangled with the land itself. And, oh boy. Okay, shoot another helmet. No geography. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, that's right. As she welcomed you and kind of said your name, she might have made a note to maybe one of your past deeds, or a small remark on your past. She goes, but before we get to the questions, I would like to read your fortunes. Poor Yaotl, if you wouldn't mind giving up the seat to one of the others here. Actually, let's take Oleg and Salvador here, since you have a closer attachment than the other three do. So you two, please, take a seat. And she'll motion to the chairs. Now I have to roll
I'm
you
skeptical
guys.
when I take a seat.
Oh no. Work with me, please. No, don't do that. You're not supposed to do that.
Hey, real quick, I actually had to bounce out to go pick up my fiance from work, so if you want, I can have Kragmar check out, use the restroom or some shit.
Yeah, you can step out for a moment if you wanted to. That's fine.
Alright.
Okay, so
I'll be right back, guys.
Yep. Okay, can I... Roll20's being a jerk. It's not letting me drag my... Hold on, let me see if I can do this, because it was doing something... Roll20, please behave. I'm gonna see if I can drag this up. Yes, perfect. Yes, queen. Okay, that makes it much easier. There we go. Alright. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Perfect. So you guys should see a table with 4 cards, or 5 cards. I'm sorry. Is that what everybody is seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Perfect. Now I need to bring up. Let's see. We're gonna do this and this. So what I'm going to do is shuffle both of these. So usually what I would do, since Kragmar had to step out, I would do the general cards first, but instead we are going to do the individual fortunes first. So, Mr. Ollug there, she kind of goes to you first, and she pulls out 2 decks of cards, one a lot thicker than the other, and she takes the smaller one, and she begins to kind of shuffle it, and let me go ahead and bring up, where is it? That is Lay of the Land. Come on, work with me here. It was just here, and now it's gone. Let me check the tent real quick. Nope. Alright, I at one point thought this was organized nicely, but now I don't really think it is. Okay. So we're going to go with this one. I'm going to pop it out, and I'm going to move it over here. Perfect. So, the high deck, yes. So, she is going to take the high deck and shuffle it. And she is going to focus on you, Ollug, and she will draw a card here to... one card to Ollug. I don't know if this is how it works. Okay, this probably isn't right. Can I place it? Hold on.
Looks like a card went to my little name thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what's going on here. Why is it not... Hold on, I'm going to recall, see if that does... Okay. I don't know why it's oh, you know what? Here, let me see if this does. Okay. There we go. Now, you guys can see it. So, Mr. Ollug, she pulls out a card. Okay. And, she kind of places it, or she places it face down in front of you. And, she basically motions to you to flip it over, and when you do so, oh, let me move it actually, so that it can be seen. There we go, perfect. You see, you have drawn the ghost, and looking at it, she'll say, the looming past, the return of an old enemy, or the discovery of a secret buried long ago. She says, that is your fate here in Barovia. And without another word, she's going to look over to Salvador now. So, let's see, click to draw, drag to deal, click to draw. Okay, here we go. What is this? Alright, so she does the same thing for you, Salvador, and she goes, the innocent. A being of great importance whose life is in danger. Who might be helpless or simply unaware of the peril is tied to your fate here in Barovia. And she goes, and she says, Braylon, please step forward. And what is this one? Okay. And as you get closer there, Brillin, she does the same thing for you. Put it up here. And she goes, the dungeon. Isolation, imprisonment. Being so conservative in thinking as to be a prisoner of one's own beliefs. That, my dear, is your fate here in Barovia. And she goes, Felix, it is now your turn. And
comes up with a smirk and takes the card.
Okay. And she says, the horseman. Death. Disaster in the form of the loss of wealth or property. A horrible defeat or the end of a bloodline. That is your fate here, my dear, in the land of Barovia. And, so, let me see. Now, what can I do with this real quick? Can I put that, that's gotta go back.
Heads up, I'm actually here. I'm having you guys on my phone.
Gotcha, okay. So I'll do yours next then, I guess. So, let me go ahead and click. Okay. Alright. Kragmar, the Tempter. One who has been compromised or led astray by temptation or foolishness. One who tempts others for evil ends. And she says, that, my dear, is your fate here in Barovia. And she draws the next card and slides it to Yaotl, who then flips it. And Yaotl, it is the beast. And she goes... Great rage or passion, something bestial or malevolent hiding in plain sight, or lurking just below the surface. But you've already had this fate read to you, my dear. And she'll kind of conclude with that. So we will go ahead and remember your guys' cards, if you will. And I will go ahead and type out the cards for you so you have it. I'll have that for you later. But she will then go... There are artifacts you must seek out here in Barovia if you wish to complete your task. And there is also one that will help you along the way. And you also must learn the location of how does she refer to him again? I gotta make sure she does it right. But she'll say, you also need to know the location of Strahd von Zarevich. She says, and I will help you with this. So she's going to draw the cards here. All right. So for card 1, she drew the priest. So let me go ahead and pull this over here. So, the priest. Okay, is that not... Let me see. Composition. Alright, let me go to the actual cards here. This is a little bit easier to figure out. The Roll20s is a little weird, so I'm going to go to the actual book. That will be much easier to find out. Here we go. So, the priest. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. So, that brings us to the priest. The priest. Where is the priest hiding at? Okay, the priest. Of course, it's the last one.
I linked it to you in your private chat, Hulk.
Okay, gotcha. Was that in... gotcha.
Discord.
I see. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it was the last card in the list. So she reads, you will find what you seek in the castle, amid the ruins of a place of supplication. And then she is going to draw the second card. And go ahead and draw that. Card 2, the Illusionist. All right. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. Okay, thank you. A man is not what he seems. He comes here in a carnival wagon. Therein lies what you seek. Okay. And she draws the third card, the Enchanter. And she says, this is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of pure sunlight. And she says, I see a kneeling woman, a rose of great beauty plucked too soon. The master of the marsh knows of whom I speak. Okay. Draws the fourth card, which is the Healer. She says, this card sheds light. Oh, hold on. I think this is actually the high deck, if I'm... Nope, I think that's right. Nope, that is high deck. So, nope, Healer is not the card. So, let me open up the high deck now. Okay, so the fourth card, the Hooded One. So, as she draws this, she goes, this card sheds light on the one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. And it was the Hooded One. Innocent. Wait. Where are you? Where are you? See, this is why I always have them pulled beforehand. Hold on. Joker. Artifact. He's broken one. Dark Lord, Dungeon, Seer, Ghost. Hooded One's from the wrong deck. What? No, come on. It pulled the wrong card for me. That's why. My bad, I apologize for that. I clicked the high deck and it pulled something else out for some reason. Okay, so the Dark Lord. That should be... Here we go. Okay. Oh no. The worst of all truths. You must face the evil of this land alone. And she draws the last card. Okay. So let me go ahead. She draws the last card, which is the Marionette, which she says, your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. And with being the Marionette, she says, look to great heights, find the beating heart of the castle. He waits nearby. And with that, I guess she's finished with her reading. Right, everybody got their fates. And you guys have the 5 cards that will help you along your way. And I will make sure to transcribe each of those for you. And I will paste them so that you guys have them in written word. Okay. But, do you guys have anything else for Madame Ava here?
Not really, no.
Pragmar picks up the card, looks it over, staring at it.
Okay. And she actually, the way she passed it to you, she basically offers it to you. So you guys get to kind of keep it on hand. Okay. But she says, you are welcome to stay in the camp for the night. And please sing and dance and partake of the wine with the fellow Vistani. For tomorrow, your dark journey begins.
You don't have to tell me twice. And Kragmar just walks out and starts joining the Joyce plays laughter.
Okay.
Jesse kind of mumbles to himself, begins again, begins again.
And she'll say, hopefully things go better this time, my dear. Okay, so let me pull up the Serpal encampment. Okay. The company of their escorts remain at the camp. So, as you guys leave the tent, you'll find that the 3 wagons that you showed up in have kind of joined in with the other wagons, kind of forming more of a semicircle around the camp. And they've already unhooked their horses, and the horses are currently down by the lake, getting fed and getting some water. And you kind of see that some of the Vistani that were with you on your journey are now dancing and singing along with the other Vistani. But a Vistani's tale. Yeah, so you guys kind of stay here, kind of rest your feet, maybe sing and dance, drink some wine, eat some food. But as night begins to fall, you see that the singing and dancing seems to stop suddenly. And you see one Vistana male sitting, I guess, in front of the large fire. And you kind of hear whispering kind of amongst the crowd. And you hear them that they're like, hush, hush, listen, he's about to tell a story, and so you guys kind of gather around and get as close as you can, and one of the Vistani sitting here begins to recount a tale, and he'll go, a mighty wizard came to this land over a year ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you're standing. A very charismatic man, he was. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against the devil Strahd. He stirred them with thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle en masse. And Yaotl, at this point, you find yourself mouthing the words to this man's tale. You don't speak anything, but your mouths are moving perfectly in sync, as if you've heard this tale 100 times, or perhaps it's, followed you in your dreams before, but you seem to know it word for word, and perhaps during your time of loneliness you muttered it to yourself in the silence. But he continues, when the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside, and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard, yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death. I climbed down to the river in search of the wizard's body to see if he had anything of value. But the river Ivlis had already spirited him away. And, yeah. And with that, the Vistani begin to kind of murmur. But they don't say much more than that. And after a couple of moments, the music and dancing, returns. And at this point, I will say that your characters are either able to stay up and continue dancing and the like, or they can enter one of the tents for the night. But with that, we're going to call this for session 1.
Ooh.
Sounds good.
Yes, so there was a lot of bookkeeping this time, so sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. That's great. I like it. Phenomenal so far.
Oh yeah. Oh, trust me, it gets better.
I'm a little disappointed in the fact that we got, oh, you're gonna face it alone. You got this.
Yeah, right.
You have Kragmar. He's all the muscle we need.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, poor Yaotl's been alone for months without that muscle.
Yes. Oh boy. The cards help tell the fate of your adventure, and unfortunately you drew just the worst one. And you seemingly have no ally here in this dark land.
Oh fuck.
Oh
Okay.
We just had
boy.
an ally, but then he fled away. No, he had to pick up
This
the
is what
dark
makes it
sword.
fun, though.
So, if you guys will, in the Discord channel, go ahead and post it. You know what? I'm gonna make another channel.
Just for the cards.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put the Taroka cards there. Go ahead and type which one you got. And then once that is all done, I will send what each one is and its passage. And I will do so with the 5 cards that will help you along your way.
It doesn't seem like all of them help us along the way.
One of them does
So
not,
the
yes.
the first cards that were drawn is the one we're giving you, right?
Yes.
Like, I got
Yeah.
tempted.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will.
Okay.
I'll type the ones that I drew. So,
I sent you them all in your chat.
yeah, I saw that. Thanks. Priest is illusionist. I have to type them in order because it's very important that I have them in the right order.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Lord and 5 Marionette. All right, cool. So, all right, guys. Any parting words, guys, before I end the stream?
No, I had a good time.
It's cool.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Welcome back to round 3 of Yaotl's misfortunes.
So for those of you, I see that my comment section was going off quite a bit.
Just all you need to do is look at the first 2.
Right.
And Panda's
I'm
response.
not gonna head off, guys. You have a good one.
All right.
Later.
See ya.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you guys in 2 weeks for more Curse of Strahd. Take 2.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right,
Insert
guys.
scary noises.
Thank you guys for playing.
Alright guys, see you next 2
It's
weeks.
good to be back, man.
I know.